Today we are going to study properties of steam. Studying properties of steam also involves getting to know how to refer to steam table or how steam tables are tabulated, they are constructed. So let's take 1 kg of water and start heating it at certain constant pressure. As I told you during the last lecture that in boilers, the pressure of the pressure in boiler, the heating always takes place at constant pressure. So 1 kg of water, imagine 1 kg of water is being heated and we will start from 0 degree Celsius. Okay, so water is taken at 0 degree Celsius and it has 1 kg of water subjected to certain pressure which is constant, which is held constant, and it is being heated. So what will happen? Let's represent the temperature profile, and y-axis will be temperature, x-axis will be heat addition. This is heat addition and temperature. So when we start heating water from 0 degree Celsius, you will see that the temperature will start rising. It's 1 kg of water, so temperature will start rising and it will rise till a point at which water would start to boil. That means it's a stage of phase transformation. So when the water reaches its saturation temperature, that is boiling temperature, and that boiling temperature, as I told you, that boiling temperature is linked with the pressure. It's for a different pressure there will be different saturation temperature or boiling temperature, one and the same. So the temperature rise will continue till the water starts boiling, and thereafter when the water is boiling, which means the water is getting converted into steam, the temperature will not change, the temperature will be constant. So this is, let's say this is saturation temperature Ts. You continue heating beyond this, the temperature will be constant, which will be constant, and during this process boiling is taking place and water is getting converted into steam. Now there will be a stage at which entire mass of water would have been converted into steam, and that steam will also be at saturation temperature. So that condition somewhere, let's say it reaches, and if you heat beyond that, that means now all the water is converted into steam and you are heating beyond that. Now this is called as superheating. So temperature will rise further. So temperature rise will continue hereafter. Remember, all this process is taking place at constant pressure. So you started from 0 degree Celsius, the water reaches saturation temperature, thereafter the phase transformation begins. The entire phase transformation is completed here, and beyond which if you heat, the temperature will rise again, that is superheated region. That means the steam gets superheated from this point. Let me name this. This is say point A and this is point B. Let's talk about point A. At point A, the water has just reached saturation temperature. However, its phase is still liquid. It has not evaporated. Okay, so there is no vapor formation as yet, but the water has reached saturation temperature. So this point is called as saturated. This condition of water is called as saturated liquid condition. So this is A is saturated liquid condition. The word saturated because it is liquid at saturation temperature. At point B, all the water is converted into steam. Steam does not have any water particle left, but the steam is still at saturation temperature. So this is dry saturated steam condition. Point B is dry saturated steam condition. A is saturated liquid condition. In between, at any point, there exists both water and steam, because it is saturated liquid here, it is saturated vapor here, in between it is mixture. So any point in between the steam is wet, saturated liquid, anywhere here wet steam, and dry saturated steam, right. So this line, horizontal line, has three conditions: saturated liquid, wet steam, and dry saturated steam. beyond which if you start heating, you are entering into superheated region. That means the steam gets superheated and it, let's say we are heating up to this. So point C is condition where the condition of steam is that of superheated steam. Okay. Now we would like to talk about certain properties. Let's say we start from point A, then we'll talk about some intermediate point. I'll mark that point as P. It could be any point in this, on this line. Let's say that point is P. So that means it's a wet steam condition, right? It's mixture of water and steam. B is saturated vapor, C is superheated steam. Which properties we are going to consider? At point A, the question could be, what is the enthalpy of this saturated liquid? That means enthalpy at point 1. Remember, we are considering 1 kg of water. So all these terms, enthalpy term is going to be specific enthalpy. That means enthalpy of 1 kg of water. Okay, and that is denoted by HF. It is denoted by HF. So what is the enthalpy of saturated liquid? Now enthalpy, what is enthalpy? Enthalpy is nothing but the heat added to water from 0 degrees Celsius, the water which is at 0 degrees Celsius, and it is taken to saturated liquid condition, or when it is reaches the saturation temperature, one and the same. So heat required to take the water from 0 degrees Celsius to its saturation temperature, which corresponds to the pressure under which heating is taking place. So this is HF. So essentially HF, you can immediately note, HF is, because this is a total heat added from 0 degrees Celsius to Ts, it is also equal to Cp into Ts. Why? Because you know, heat added in water to take it from certain temperature from T1 to T2, what is the heat? What's the expression? mCp delta T. M is 1, so it's Cp, specific heat of water, into change in temperature. Final temperature is Ts, initial temperature is 0, so Ts minus 0, right? So HF is Cpw into Ts. That is enthalpy of saturation. You don't have to do this because in steam tables you are going to get all these values directly. I'll come to that. But let me explain this each property from first principle. This is HF. Second property that would be of interest to us will be the volume of saturated liquid, or specific volume, because it is 1 kg. 1 kg of liquid, when it has reached saturation temperature, which has reached saturation temperature, which is, that means it is at point A, that volume is Vf. I am giving a note here to V because just to indicate that it is specific volume. So it is Vf. HF and Vf are these two are properties that those will be of interest to us. Similarly, we will be interested in knowing the entropy. Entropy is SF. Entropy at point A is SF. Again, it is entropy of 1 kg of saturated liquid. Please note that if you want to find out SF, what expression will you use? Because you are heating it, temperature is changing, so the expression will be mCp ln T2 by T1. T2 is final temperature and T1 is initial temperature. M is 1. So the expression now here will be Cp, M is 1, so Cp ln T2. T2 is Ts, final temperature is Ts. So it is Ts plus 273, we are converting that into Kelvin, upon 0 plus 273. 0 because it starts from 0 degrees Celsius. So this will give you SF. Even this expression you don't have to really calculate that using the formula, but I am just starting from first principle. All these values will be readily available in steam table. Okay. So these are the three properties. Now let's come to point P. Now say at point P the steam is wet. Okay, the steam is wet. Now as you move from A to B, the steam becomes drier and drier, and here the steam will be completely dry, but still it is at saturation temperature. So this point B is dry saturated steam condition. Point A is saturated liquid condition. In between it is mixture. Now we have a property known as dryness fraction. It just tells you that of the given mixture of steam and water, what percentage is dry. Okay, so if one says that the steam is 80% dry, 80% dry, that means that mixture contains 80% dry steam, remaining 20% is liquid water. Okay, water that is liquid in liquid form. So this is called as dryness fraction. So dryness fraction is essentially is telling you the percentage of dry steam in the total wet steam. Wet steam means dry plus water particles. So let's say that dryness fraction is denoted by x, and x is in fraction. That means so here value of x is 0 at point A because there is no dry steam. The value of x at point B is 1. Okay, and in between it is varying from 0 to 1. So when we say that at point P, let's say this is point P. So at point P the steam is wet and it has dryness fraction x, which could be 0.6. That means it is 60% dry. Okay, if x is 0.6, it is 60% dry. So it varies from 0 to 1. Okay, let's say at P the value is x. Now if you want to find out enthalpy of at point P, it is essentially enthalpy of wet steam. It is enthalpy of wet steam because at P the steam is wet, so it is enthalpy of wet steam. So what will be enthalpy of wet steam? See, we have said that enthalpy at A is HF. That means this is the amount of heat you have taken from given to water to take it to saturation temperature. Further you have to add this much, right? Let's say that how much you have to add. But before that, let me introduce one more property term. See, between A to B you are adding heat, but the temperature is not rising. So this heat is added during this phase transformation is called as is termed as enthalpy of evaporation or latent heat. Latent means which you cannot sense. So if water is boiling, you have inserted a thermometer in the water, that there will be no rise in temperature of the thermometer, the rise in mercury level of the thermometer. Why? Because you are heating it, but that heat is utilized for phase transformation. It will not be reflected in the temperature rise. So this is the heat from A to B. This is denoted as HFG, H suffix FFG, or it's also denoted as L. L stands for latent heat. So if you want to find out enthalpy at point P, which is already you have given HF, you have reached saturation temperature, so it is HF plus, if you had added total HFG, you would have come to point B. That means the steam would have been dry saturated. But we are not coming to point B, but we are somewhere in between. That means only fraction of that HFG is added. So if X is some value 0.6, that means only 0.6 or 60% of HFG is added, right? So enthalpy at this is HF plus X into HFG. X is what percentage of HFG you have added. If you add 100%, the steam becomes 100% dry. If you add 60%, the steam becomes 60% dry, etc. So this is enthalpy of wet steam is HF plus X HFG. Okay, HF plus X HFG. Similarly, let's consider what will be the volume at this point. Volume. Now see, volume of wet steam, specific volume of wet steam, it comprises of what? It comprises of dry steam and it comprises of water. So if you have 1 kg of mixture, and in that if we say that 60% of that is dry steam, 40% is 40% is water. That means 0.6 kg is steam, 0.4 kg is water, right? 0.6 kg is steam, 0.4 kg is water. Now and the volume of steam and volume of water has to be added to get the volume of wet steam. So we want to find out volume of wet steam. That means it is volume of dry steam plus volume of water, right? So what will be the volume of dry steam? See, if you are considering that steam is the dryness fraction is X, that means see, here we have said that VF is the specific volume of saturated liquid. Okay, Vf is the specific volume of saturated liquid. So steam will have saturated liquid plus dry steam. Here it will have saturated liquid plus dry steam. Let's say that when the steam is completely dry, its volume, that means at point B, its volume, let's say, is specific volume is Vg. We denote by Vg. Now here it is not 100% dry, but it is certain percentage dry, which is X. So volume of dry steam at point P will be X into Vg. X is the fraction, that means it's not 100% dry, it is 60% dry. So obviously Vg will be, if it were 100% dry, the volume would have been Vg, but it is not 100%, it is 60%, so X into Vg. Plus remaining is water. What is remaining? It is 1 minus X fraction. If 1 kg of steam, wet steam, 60% is dry, remaining means 0.4 kg, 0.4, 1 minus 0.6, 0.4 kg is liquid water. So 1 minus X into Vf. No, please note, what is Vf? Vf is volume of 1 kg of saturated liquid. Vf is volume of 1 kg of saturated liquid. Here you have dry saturated steam, also saturated liquid. How much is dry saturated steam? Volume of how much is dry saturated steam? It is X is dry saturated steam. 1 minus X is saturated liquid. So volume of dry steam is X into Vg. Similarly, volume of saturated liquid will be 1 minus X into Vf. Why Vf? Because Vf is the specific volume of saturated liquid. But please note that this term is really very small. It's really negligible. So we can just get rid of. So remember, the volume of wet steam will be X into Vg. What is Vg? Vg is the specific volume of steam when it is completely dry. That means when it reaches point B. So anywhere in between, the specific volume is X into Vg. Fine. Now let's find out at point P. What is, I'll just remove this so that at point P, what is the entropy? So if you want to write the expression for entropy, that means S wet, entropy of wet steam, that is at point P, entropy of wet. So at point, entropy is also a property and you can just add it. So at A, the entropy was SF. So entropy at A is SF, plus you have moved ahead. How much heat? So you know entropy expression. If you are adding heat and the temperature of the substance is not changing, then the expression for entropy will be heat added upon temperature. Please note that here from A to B, the temperature is constant, or here A to P, the temperature is also constant, and heat is being added. How much heat is added? If you add full latent heat, which is HFG, this is HFG, the point would have moved to B, but you have not added full HFG, but it is dryness fraction X, that means it is X of HFG is being added at point A. Okay, so this is heat added is X into HFG. Please think over this. If you add total HFG, you would have moved to point B, but you have added fraction of HFG, so you move to point this. So this is the heat added upon the temperature. What is the temperature? Temperature is constant, which is Ts. So this is Ts plus 273. So this will be the entropy. This will be the entropy of the wet steam. Please note, entropy of the wet steam. Now let's move to point B. Okay, at point B, the steam is dry saturated. So what is the enthalpy of dry saturated steam? Since this is dry saturated, we have here we have used small f for denoting saturated liquid. Here you will use small g, like specific volume. Here we said it is Vg. What about the enthalpy? Enthalpy will be Hg, specific enthalpy. Obviously 1 kg of liquid was heated, so 1 kg of dry steam is formed. So this Hg will be Hf, because this is Hf, enthalpy of saturated liquid, plus total HFG, right? So this will be Hg is Hf plus HFG. Okay, Hg is Hf plus Hfg. So this will be entropy at of the dry saturated steam. What about the entropy of, I said this is enthalpy of the dry saturated steam. I don't remember what did I say, but it's enthalpy. Now entropy of dry saturated steam, that means what is the entropy at this point, which is, again all this I am writing the expressions, but most of the things you are going to get directly from the steam tables, and I will explain in my next video how do you refer to steam table. So entropy of dry saturated steam here, okay, what is the entropy of dry saturated? It is SF plus this, right? How much is this heat added? It is HFG, okay. First you have added heat added is this, so you have found out entropy of saturated liquid, so it is SF plus total heat added here is HFG upon the temperature, which is Ts plus 273, and this will give you entropy of saturated liquid, okay, fine. Now suppose, and of course if you want to find out volume, it is volume of dry saturated steam denoted as Vg, okay, and that is going to, you will get it directly from the steam table, okay. Now let us say that you move to point C. Point C is condition where condition is that of superheated steam. At C, if you want to find out enthalpy of superheated steam, H superheated, that will be up to point B, the heat added is Hg, that is enthalpy of dry saturated steam, right. So it is Hg plus you are adding heat so that the temperature rises. How much heat will be added? You can say that, let's say that point C is T superheated, because the steam beyond saturated condition is superheated steam. It is T superheated temperature here, the temperature here is Ts, okay. So T superheated minus Ts is the difference in temperature. It's also called as degree of superheat. Heat, how many degrees you have heated steam beyond its dry saturated condition. So how much heat is added? Again mCp delta T, m is 1, Cp that of superheated steam, right, that you should remember. So this is Cp steam into delta T, that is T superheated minus Ts, T superheated minus Ts. This will give you the enthalpy of superheated steam. Similarly, if you want to find out entropy of superheated steam, how will you do this? Now you already know what is the entropy here. This is Sg. We have just already calculated Sg plus you are adding heat, okay, and temperature is changing. So expression of entropy change when the temperature is changing is Cp ln T2 by T1. M is 1. So Cp is of steam, Cp is steam, ln T2 is T superheated, so Ts plus 273 upon Ts, because here temperature is Ts, so this is Ts plus 273. This is T superheated, please note, T superheated plus 273 upon Ts plus 273. So this will give you entropy at this point. Similarly, you can along the same lines, if you want to find out volume of superheated steam, that means specific volume, because you are considering 1 kg. So please note that in this region the steam is superheated and superheated steam behaves like gas. So you can apply gas laws. Please note that point B and C, on B and C is a constant pressure line. This entire process is carried out at constant pressure. So B and C pressure is constant, so it's a constant pressure heating. Temperature here is Ts, here it is T superheated, and you can use the gas laws. The general law we can say it is P1 V1 upon T1 is equal to P2 V2 upon T2. Here and here pressure are same, so this goes out. What is the volume here? It is dry saturated steam, volume is Vg. What is the temperature here? Temperature is Ts. So it is, I'll write capital Ts, capital T, so it's in Kelvin. It has to be in Kelvin, remember this. This is volume, volume here is V superheated and temperature is T superheated. So use this expression to find out V superheated. Again, all these you might not have to do in the exams, because when you use steam tables you are going to get these values directly, but you need to understand how these values are written in the steam tables. Okay. So these are the various properties. All this process was carried out at constant pressure, and at different points we have seen different properties and how to find out those properties. In the next lecture I will talk about a short video, next video will be short, wherein I will show how the steam table is tabulated. Thank you.